I don't give a shit about that.
Why not?
That happened millions of years ago.
But why not?
Because we live in the moment. The only moment we can live in is the one right now.
Sure. So if you were to wake up one day randomly, and you were to wake up and you don't know how you got there, and you're on a train, what is the first thing that you're going to think of?
Where am I?
Where am I? Next question.
Where am I going?
Where am I going?
Yeah.
And then the third question you might ask is,
how do I get off this train?
how did I get on this train?
No, how do I get off this train?
Okay, fair enough, right? Even that, right? So let's say these are the questions. Notice how you first said, where am I and where am I going? Naturally, I think that any human being has that question.
I know where you're going with this. That's not the same thing.
Why not?
Because I am surrounded by people.
Sure.
And that is a one-liner hypothetical situation. We're talking about the start of the universe, which is the start of everything.
Sure.
And that's not the same thing.
I believe it's the start of the universe. I don't believe it's the start of everything, but sure.
Okay, so you believe that a God created you?
That God created the universe, absolutely.
Okay, I just don't believe it.
Okay, so I'll ask you this. You haven't provided a scientific reason to me. I've given to you the fact.
I'm not a scientist.
Sure, but you said that you believe in science, so just putting it out there based off your words.
That's so confusing.
No, fair, right?
Just like you can believe that a God created it.
So I'll tell you exactly why I believe God created it. When we look at the planets today, do each of the planets have their own orbit?
Yes.
Do each of the
in our solar system, yeah.
Sure. So when we look at those planets, they each have their own orbit. Do those planets follow a specific path in their orbit? Yes?
Yeah.
And when you look at the stars, right? Are there stars in a specific location within the universe, the sun itself?
Where are you going with this?
And we're going through a logical explanation because he says
things still move within their own.
Sure. So would you agree that the sun has a path?
Yeah.
The moon has a path?
Yeah.
Why is it that we don't see, if this universe truly came from an explosion, a random cosm of those things colliding with one another?
Because we haven't gotten there as humans yet. We can't figure out the entirety of the universe in this.
One thing. I'll take a step back. You said, as a man who believes in math, history, and science is based upon the falsification test. Falsification test is only something. Yeah, I agree. I'm proving to you God exists. I'm providing you a lot. Hold on, follow along with me, right? So I've said to you that the universe follows certain laws.
Okay, you're trying to attack science into me believing that God exists, and that's not how it works.
No. I'm saying that you put out the words that you believe in science and math as a foundation to society.
Yes, and just because I don't know all of the science behind that science does not mean that it doesn't exist.
Well, that means that there's no science then.
That's not true.
I'll tell you why. Because if you don't have a knowledge of something to be able to make the claim that thing is what it's
I personally don't.
Sure.
Not the historians around
So it's just a belief that you have.
Yes.
Yeah, you just have a faith. You just have some religious belief that this is how it is.
I wouldn't put it as faith. It's more like...
It's definitely not logical.
Yes, it is.
No, because you haven't even given me a logical explanation. All right.
You're worse than them.
I'm just saying, I'm going based off of logic.
No, you're not.
I just did. You're
not. You're attacking science and you're trying.
I'm not attacking science.
No, you're attacking science into defending.
Science is based upon it's called deductive reasoning.
Into defending God.
I'm using deductive reasoning, which is one of the highest forms.
Attacking science.
I did not. When did I attack science? Ibn Haytham was the one that came up with the scientific method. He is a Muslim. Ibn Haytham, right, for example, was the one that created algebra, right? Algebra was one of his names. So when you say that I attack those things, the very founders of those concepts.
You're attacking those things.
You just said that I'm attacking science.
Attacking modern science, and just because I'm not saying that I know I don't know science. Okay, I'm not a historian, but I'm saying that the idea, the story that one person created, or whether he is or she is omnipotent or not, doesn't make sense.
We don't have he or she with God. We say that God is.
Well, you don't. I do. So
why do you have God? But you don't believe in God, so how do you put a he or she to it?
I can use my language. I don't care.
Think about it, Alexander. Science doesn't say anything. It doesn't tell us anything. Scientists.
Okay. Well, that stuff can be proven. So.
No, you can't prove it. Hold on. You can't prove Big Bang Theory because science requires the ability for you to reproduce things within a controlled environment. You cannot create that. So that's why I'm saying it's unscientific. That's why I'm saying it's unscientific to say that the universe came from this theory. It's just a theory. It's, at the end of the day, a religious belief.
Yep, that's right.
Because
call it religion.
Well, because I'm telling you that it's not scientific, right? And by definition, not scientific because you can't reproduce
I
it.
disagree on that.
Well, I mean,
move on from this topic.
well, I'm just giving you the definition. We're just establishing that you don't follow science.
I don't like the attacking of science. So let's
Okay, it's not attacking of science. It's the lack of use of knowledge and reasoning.
Let's move on.
Okay,
I don't believe
so let me ask you this: do you believe that people who are humans have a right to gain knowledge? Gain knowledge. Okay, so how can you reject something when you do not know what it says or that which it believes?
Because you're using your frame of reference.
I'm not using my frame of reference.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Your religion's frame of reference.
I gave you what it says in the Quran. It says in the Quran. Have you read the Quran?
No.
Okay, so then why are you, I'm again proving to you that you just did exactly what you said, which is you don't have knowledge about what the Quran says, and then you're attacking that which I believe.
The point of life is to gain it.
I believe.
And you're not giving me.
I believe.
Like you're just like this is.
No. What's happening here is that you're coming with a certain perspective or an idea, and you're not listening you're not listening to me.
Listening.
No, because I've given you deductive reasoning, and on top of that, I've gone through a mental model with you, and beyond that, I've told you what it says in my book.
Propaganda words again.
Okay, cool. Alexander, I wish you have a good one, all right? So, I'll tell you this is just my advice to you, right? This is irregardless of us being Christians or Muslims. Oftentimes when you have discussions with atheists, what you'll see, right, and this is a friend, that they will reference science, right? So automatically, and I want you to have success in what you do, which is why I'm advising you, right, is that go towards the fact that the word science itself is based upon the falsification test.
I do have a question for you, because I asked him this question.
Can I finish talking to him and then
Yeah,
answer
go
that
ahead.
question?
Yeah, I just have
So
one
it's
more.
based upon the falsification test, which, according to science, requires you to be able to prove within a controlled environment a certain result multiple times without that thing failing. Okay? The second thing is that when they refer to science, ask them what that science is. Now, go and do light research. You'll find that the Big Bang Theory has thousands of competing opinions based upon various scholars, which is why most scientists actually come to agreement that says that the Big Bang Theory at best is just an idea. Okay? So the impetus is on you to disprove that.
That's true.
So
Which I did not do a good job of
Yeah.
doing, I will admit, but
Yeah.
it doesn't.
So what's the question?
I asked him earlier.
We're probably going to differ on this.
Yeah. Can I just check something? Yeah, sorry, what you're saying?
God created everything, yes?
Sure.
Did God create sin?
Did God create sin?
Yeah.
No, so we believe that God is the perfect representation of goodness. So sin itself is your ability or your reference to not fulfill that goodness.
We're hitting the tick there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So God, for example, created Satan. We believe that Satan was once on the righteous path.
So you're putting it on Satan.
No, that's not what I
God
said.
created Satan.
Did I say that? So why would you put words in my mouth?
God. So who created Satan?
So God created Satan,
So
right? And he was a believer in God.
So who created sin?
So I'm going to tell you this, right? Again, idea of sin is you not being able to fulfill goodness.
I'm not talking about the idea of sin. I'm asking who created it.
No, there's no creation
There
for
is
sin.
a creation.
No, because is evil created?
Who created evil?
So that's what we're saying. Evil is the the shortcoming of goodness. Sin is a shortcoming of doing good.
So who created that? Who created
Good.
the idea
Okay.
of
So
that?
the
is
framework.
the creator.
I got you. The moral framework of that which is good is defined by God.
You are adding a lot of words. It should be one word. Who created sin and evil?
That which is defined of evil and good comes from the Creator.
I find it interesting how nobody can answer this question.
Everyone answers it.
It's God.
No.
God created sin and evil.
No.
That is very interesting to me.
No, God defines those things.
Okay, so legally, let's break this argument down, right?
Well, so let me actually do this. Let me concede to you that God created evil. What's your point?
Okay, that's all I want.
No. I'm saying if I concede, what's your point?
That all of this evilness is God created. God created good.
So
and
God
evil.
created good and evil, but He also made us conscious beings that have a free will to understand that which is good and that which is evil.
Yeah.
So you would rather choose to do evil than to do
No.
good.
Who said that?
Well, I'm asking you. You're saying that God created evil. What's the punchline? I don't know what your punchline
God created all of the things.
is. Okay.
All of the
Which again, I don't agree with that statement. By the way, I'm conceding it.
Not do when He created.
So I conceded to you the idea, and your idea of that is that it's supposed to prove
I
what?
don't understand why you're serving a God that does that.
No, because God doesn't create evil. What I said, no. And I rejected the idea. I agree. Gideon, you would agree as well. God does not create evil.
God doesn't create
Right.
the gun.
I don't understand how you don't.
Humans create the gun.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does. He creates the. What is it?
Gives us the free
How you doing, miss? Feel free to take whatever you'd like. It's all free to take.
He
gives
creates
us the
all of the ingredients that go into that God. He creates
creates good,
He creates
opposite of good.
Let me ask.
Evil.
He creates the physical gun.
So no, let me ask this. Let me ask this. When you see war that's happening right now, do you believe that's God's fault?
Yes.
So you believe that all the wars and everything is God's fault?
Yes.
So Trump and Israel and all these different state actors are not responsible that God did those things.
They all did those things, but God did too.
So you're saying that we're rejecting the idea of free will because God is the one that made those things happen. So you don't believe in free
Can
will.
you repeat that slower?
So you reject the idea of free will because it doesn't matter what we do because God is the one that had created those things.
No, I'm not rejecting the idea of free will.
Okay.
I'm rejecting the idea that God is good and omnipotent because he created evil.
I believe, so I'll define to you what we believe as Muslims, right?
Okay.
We believe that God is the source of good,
Okay.
right? And that we believe that all humans are created good. Now that's probably where we disagree.
Whoa. Repeat that last part.
That all humans are born good.
All of them.
Yes.
Every single one.
Every human is born good.
Including Adolf Hitler.
Born good, yes.
Okay.
Born good, right? Hitler, you could choose Joseph Stalin, doesn't matter.
Maybe I could see the born argument. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're
can see
born
that.
good. Everyone's born good because, again, what it shows is that society and that which we are taught is what changes our
Well,
perspective
I
of
have a
good.
belief that like babies are perfect and then humans ruin them, so it kind of goes along.
So that's
with that
exactly
stuff.
what
Yeah.
Islam says,
Yeah.
right? Because Islam says that. That's why it says that until the age of maturity, any child is innocent and that they are not held for any mistakes or, quote, sins that they do.
I don't know about that.
I'm telling you, that's what we believe in Islam.
Okay.
So that's what we believe in Islam,
Okay.
right? Because you can't hold someone accountable for something that they don't know. Like if you never,
Including murder.
so let me give you an example, right? We as Muslims don't believe that someone who never received the message of Islam is going to hell automatically. That's what the Quran says.
I don't believe Christianity is the same way.
I don't think they did.
So the reason here is different, though. I'll give you an explanation as to why. Because it's not fair to say that people who may lack resources or lack the right educational systems,
Like the
right?
Yeah, okay. That's
So that's our perspective, right? I think that when you look at Islam, you'll find that a lot of its teachings are rational, right? Because God is the creator of
I
all
don't
good.
think I've ever really had that disagreement with Islam.
Sure.
I've found it
Yeah.
more agreeable than Christianity, actually.
Sure.
I just don't believe in God. I just don't believe in a God. I don't believe that there is this omnipotent, perfect
Yeah.
person. Because at a certain point, you have to ask the question, if they created everything, and I do believe
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
believe that that's true, they created evil. If they created everything, they created evil.
So
At
I
some
disagree with your definition of evil, right? So I'm going to say this. I don't think that evil itself is created. I believe that evil is the absence of goodness. That is my definition. And I'll give you an example based off of what you said. You believe that babies are born perfect and that it is society and the way that they're raised that changes that perfection.
Yeah.
So the same exact words that you're using as a baby, I'm applying to the idea of good. So I believe goodness is what
But you
exists
can
and
also
perfection
have
exists.
a good life and do horrible things when you are older. That's not. It's not a one.
So what I'm saying is that over time we may be removed from that state of
in
perfection.
this hypothetical, you could be raised in a Christian household, or you could be in a you
Sure.
could be raised in a
Sure.
Islamic household, and
I believe that as a kid he was perfect.
and have an objectively.
Now what Gideon is today, I don't know about that,
you can
Gideon.
have an objectively to that religion good life and do horrible things. I'm not saying you're gonna.
As you get older,
Yeah.
sure. What's the disagreement?
That is, I believe that's God. I believe God created that.
Is that
I believe God created that.
so? Again, I'm just going back towards what you said. I believe that God created perfection and that what we see as evil or wrong is a shortcoming of those things. So over time, people may change their perspectives because they're miseducated. They may feel a certain type of way because they're raised a certain type of way. All those things can be true without necessarily needing to say that God is the one that created evil versus man is the one that's short and doesn't have the capability of retaining perfection, therefore there.
I just don't think it's man. I think it's God. I think it's at a God level.
Why do you blame God?
If God exists, it's at that level because he created or she created it. If at a certain level, if you're going to create everything, you have there is no way you will not think about that.
So
there's no way that will not.
So no person,
especially if you are as knowledgeable and smart as God is supposed to be.
So if God is that, in your view, that's your view of God, then no person creates any mistakes. Instead, it's God who does it because God is the one that created evil, and them doing evil is them following God's way. Therefore, that person's not responsible for their wrongs.
No, I never said that person isn't responsible.
Why not?
But God is also responsible.
But if God is all-powerful, all-knowing, and the one that essentially is dictating life, by your view, you're impeding the idea that God is the one that's doing those things and not the individual.
It is both of them. It's God and the individual. I'm not.
So
saying
who's holding the other one accountable?
If you believe in God and you do bad things, that is you and your God's fault.
No.
If I am an atheist and I do bad things, it is my fault.
So this is the difference, though, right? As Muslims, what we believe is that when someone does something wrong, because they know what goodness is, they're held accountable for those things. So someone like Adolf Hitler, because they may have gone and killed millions of innocent people, whatever your perspective of Hitler is, I'm sure there's a bunch of conspiracy theories you can talk about, right? Joseph Stalin, etc. Right?
On Hitler? Like what?
Well, I would think your view would be different because it's just his truth, right?
No.
Not his truth?
No.
Well, what objective truth is it?
Well, he was.
Who's the objectifier of that? Who's the justice?
Yeah, that's the perspective.
Him and his God.
Him and his God.
Him and his God.
What if his God says go do it? I think he did.
I think he did. That's him
why
and his
is he
God.
wrong?
Because that is wrong.
Your God.
No, I don't have a God. I say
God
it's
says
wrong.
it's wrong.
Why it's wrong?
So you're God.
To kill people.
So how do you define which is gone? Well, how do you define which is good and what is bad?
By my moral compass.
Okay, so how do you define your moral compass? Is your moral compass applicable to all people?
Experiences through life, I guess.
Right. So it is based upon your circumstances, which cannot be applied to a broad ecosystem of people.
I mean, I would argue that's not true, but okay.
Why not? Because isn't each person individually going to be able to think that which is right or wrong on their own? So therefore, what a person perceives to be right or wrong is based upon their experiences. So your experiences aren't greater than another person's
asked
experiences.
if I could.
Yeah.
I'm not forcing my beliefs on people like religion seems to do. I'm just here debating what my compass is compared to the rest of
it feels like
and my moral compass is not like it's just something I've attained through years of going through life.
Everyone has experienced life.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's like
I'm saying I think
more special than anybody else's, but like
when we take a rational perspective towards life and how this world operates and the idea of justice, which I believe that everyone will be served their justice, is that for those people who have committed those atrocities overseas in wars, they will be held accountable for it. You know, Benjamin Netanyahu, probably this life feels like a king, but I believe in the next life he won't.
I disagree. I don't think they'll be